Okay, here we are, everybody. We are returning to EXO and their story and their lore and all that other stuff. But before we start, I did want to address one thing. See, when this is all getting put together, I have had a consultant, per se, who is been an EXO for many years. many years. In fact, I think over a decade. I think like around the second album. So I've had a lot of kind of help in how to kind of go about things. And we did discuss some of the other story beats that I haven't brought up yet, including such things as like Evil EXO, multiverses, and the story beat of and like the doppelgangers. I am fully aware, and I actually hadn't even realized that I've watched almost a lot of these lives that were included in the story just passively on the channel, off the channel, and everything like that. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually had a bonus episode that I was gonna do Sunday talking about all of those about that, like obsession and some of the other stuff too, and talking and kind of covering that. So I'm jumping the gun on that a little bit, but yeah, keep your eyes out. That is something I felt like I needed to address, because I do know that those exist. The other thing, not to kind of like throw a big old teaser on this, but I have been developing my own personal theory. And it is crazy. I pitched it to a couple people, and the crazy thing is that they're all all believe this. So I think might have accidentally stumbled into something that might actually change the whole game about the entire story. So anyway, one last thing. And that is the structure for the last videos today on Saturday. So I was discussing with my EXO friend, who is also the one that got me started on this channel, about how I should do this. We consulted, I talked, and I've been talking with a few other people. And so the order that I have it today has been, I would say, given the approval of how it kind of fits. So, including with my new theory. Anyway, so we're going to start off with Lucky One. Then we're going to do Monster, then Power, then Love Me Right. Okay, so anyway. And then I'm going to release a whole blow-off episode about my whole theory and everything about the doppelgangers and multiverses. Anyway, so today, Lucky One, starting off.
들뜬다 널 찾아줄 지도를 들고 좌표를 따라 나서는 항로 No matter 좁힌 아침밤은 너를 향할 테니 너를 닮은 하늘은 아름다워 오늘도 이대로 너는 부셔 익숙한 듯 낯선 길 그려버릴게 너와 나의 평행선 넘어 I don't mind 큰 파도에 밀려 이 항해의 끝에 내가 휘몰아치는 순간 내 세상에 멈춰서 넌 나의 only one 너를 발견한 순간 더 찬란히 빛나는 I feel lucky one 너와 나 잊고 비밀스럽게 숨겨둔 너의 고백 Just tell me right now 다가갈게 한 걸음 한 걸음 내 곁에 baby 오늘도 제대로 never go back 오직 나만 아는 룰 바꿔버릴게 너와 나의 평행선 넘어 I don't mind 큰 파도에 밀려 이 항해의 끝에 내가 휘몰아치는 순간 내 세상에 멈춰서 넌 나의 only one 너를 발견한 순간 더 찬란히 빛나는 I'll be the lucky one 너와 나 이곳에 keep on coming 같은 시간 속에 하나 된 그 순간 We'll be the lucky ones 수많은 삶 속 나의 lover 운이 좋게 찾은 내 글로벌 올 것 같아 내게고 너란 행운도 멋지지 누가 뭐라 해도 널 알아갈수록 yeah let's go 공존할 수 없는 것은 없어 넌 나의 only one 나의 lucky one cause 휘몰아치는 순간 내 세상에 멈춰서 넌 나의 only one 너를 발견한 순간 더 찬란히 빛나는 I'll be the lucky one 너와 나 이곳에 keep on coming 같은 시간 속에 하나 된 그 순간 We'll be the lucky ones I am the lucky one I am the lucky one
Very crazy. So, the trickiest thing about all of this is because the fact is that technically speaking, there is no one single like chronological order technically. And the reason why is because usually with writing there's a way that, you know, you just kind of have everything connected. It's like this is the beginning, middle, and end. And there is patterns, and I think that that's one thing that kind of needs to be understood as well. Is like when I'm doing this, when I'm trying to kind of like put it all together, I already know that there is technically no chronological order. That's why I've been doing more by topic, and I feel like that with that has given some form of a chronological order of how things kind of feel like that they go. But I do acknowledge that there is not one single. It's done in what's known as machete style, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, in any case, let's talk about how I feel like that this is the next piece of the puzzle. We had Lotto, and there was some interesting thoughts and discussions with that. I actually really liked a lot of the comments on there. I thought there were some really interesting ideas that I had never thought of before. I understand that a lot of the stuff that I'm kind of coming to is just general, very, I would say, patterns from what I know from having read just like a mountain of books. So that's where my brain just kind of usually goes. So Lotto was, for me, the idea that they had got back together, but they kind of lost control of themselves and their powers. And I feel like that this was, in fact, by design by Red Force. And I think that the interesting thing is that because of that, they were able to be captured. This is, like I said, this is all just my own personal opinion. So I think that's kind of what I think, is that they were confused and deceived by Red Force, and then this whole video to me was 100% like, obviously they are still trying to break free. one of the comments that I really, really liked is that did they ever really fully escape? And, you know, honestly, that's been playing in my mind. Like, they got maybe out of one part of the maze, but did they ever fully get out of the maze? And it's like, oof, that is a solid point. That is a very solid point. So when at the end here, we actually kind of see that even if they did escape, they were brought right back in. And I think the interesting thing is about this is that not only have they been captured and, you know, are still either part of the maze or B, brought back into the maze. And the truth that I think was actually kind of scary about this is that what they were trying to do in this, from my personal, you know, kind of like understanding, is that it seemed like that they were trying to almost cause them to forget who they were and that they had powers. Because I think, again, Red Force knows that if they are together and they are unified, they are defeated. Unified. I don't know why I said unified. That they are defeated. That's the big fear. So the drastic measure was, and this is what kind of blew my mind, is that when it came to Lotto, instead of making it this big grand entrance and destroying them and like causing great harm or like, you know, whatever, instead they played themselves against each other. They made them remember that they had these powers and that they were way more powerful, and like the whole shebang about just kind of corrupting them with their own power and like how they go about doing things, only for like EXO to basically like fall into that trap and then get taken in. And now they're trying to make sure that EXO does not remember, or that they're trying to force them to forget who they are. And I think there's a couple of scenes that kind of like play that well, like here and here we have them being able to remember that they have their powers. And this is huge because that's what they start to use to escape. So that's, to me, the whole idea is that Red Force is basically trying to erase their identity and who they were and their memories and everything. So anyway, on to the next one. And here. Okay, I was like, wait, where's my sound?
She got me going crazy. 외심장이 뛰네. 넌 아름다운 나의 goddess. 닫혀있지, yeah, yeah. 두드릴 테니 날
That's so cool.
감춰진 스릴을 줄게. 눈동자에 호기심에 이미 넌 빠져들었고. Don't be afraid, love is the way. Shorty, I got it, you can call me monster. I'm in your heartbeat. 뒤집고
This song is so
무너뜨리고
good.
삼켜. 그래 넌 훔쳐탄 니게. 널 만져놓을 거야. 네 맘속에 각인된 채 죽어도 영원히 살래. 그러니까 you call me monster. 네 맘을 들어갈게. She got me going crazy. 외심장이 뛰네. 내가 좀 성격이 급해. 그다고 순하지 못해. 널 좋아했어? 하지만 너를 원해. That's why my time. 가슴은 거짓말하네. 시작됐어 내 안에서 위험한 신호를 보내. Don't be afraid, love is the way. Shorty, I got it, you can call me monster. I'm perfect in your heartbeat. 뒤집고 무너뜨리고 삼켜. 그래 넌 훔쳐탄 니게. 널 망쳐놓을 거야. 네 맘속에 각인된 채 죽어도 영원히 살래. 그러니까 you call sorry. You make me so crazy. You know you do.
Yeah, 모두 날 두려워해. So I'm untouchable man. 근데 내 진심은 왜 결국에 날 거부 못해. 숨어서 저보다가 깜짝 놀라지. 내게 난 티노미 같은 난 내 존재의 일부. 날 그대로 받아들여. 너의 두려움 걱정은 접어들여. 네가 견딜만한 고통을 누려. 더 깊이 빠져들어. 널 맘대로 가지고 놀아. 내 손에서 맘껏 놀아. 도망가지만 난 영원히 난 두려워. You can call me monster.
I'm creeping in your heart. 뒤집고 무너뜨리고 삼켜. 그래 넌 훔쳤단 니게.
날 말아쳐 놓을 거야.
네 맘속에 각인된 채 죽어도 영원히 살래. Good girl, you call me monster.
네 맘으로 들어갈
Creeping, 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 creeping. Yeah, creeping.
I wonder if he was supposed to accidentally take off his earring like that, or if that was like a mistake. Okay. For me, there's a couple of things here that kind of come across as interesting in the whole scheme of things. This, to me, is actually one of the first times where I really felt like that the multiverse part comes out in their favor. And I feel like that this is where, when they start breaking up, and actually I kind of also think that all the different mazes might be for all the different groups, all the different versions of EXO. And I think that there's some crossing of paths, and the majority of it is escaping from Red Force here. And that's the whole thing to me, is that this one really truly felt like the big escape. So it's fairly simple with that particular premise, but the idea, and this is kind of something that I wish that I had explained earlier, just because the themes and the ideas have been fairly simple in like the storytelling and like the methods and whatnot and stuff like that. I understand that there is a much broader vision that is encapsulated that I haven't really touched on, and again, that's where the blow-off episode kind of comes in. So, I do think that this is where, from what we have seen, this is where we start getting into the kind of like multi, well, not really, but I feel like that this is one of the bigger implications of it, is what I'm trying to say. And also them trying to escape from the maze. So, anyway, that's been the big theme. That's the big theme here. Surprise. Well, the truth is I decided to go back and discuss with my counselor about what to do with Obsession. And after talking about that with my counselor on this, it was decided that we best also include Obsession as well. So, EXO's Obsession is here.
제발 이제 그만 밤이 눈을 막아 그만해 넌 또 몰래 숨어들었지 잠든 귓가에 잠깐 있다 쳐다보다 할퀴고 눈썹대 끝도 없이 속삭이는 목소리 Oh you the bad dream kid 나를 홀려 자꾸 불러 너 있는 곳 그래 내게 오라고 날 안다고 I don't think so 뭐든 내게 파고들어 I don't think so 넌 내 눈을 가려 I don't think so 진실들을 덮어 I don't think so 헛된 꿈 버려 I don't think so 독을 뱉게 하지마 I don't think so 넌 날 다시 못 가져 I don't think so Shut up and go away
가장 날 지겹도록 말했어 죽고 죽는 악몽 이젠 끝낼게 우리까지 exit light 우리까지 exit light 이제 그만 꺼져줄래 내게서
Oh, that's creepy.
그만해줘 내기 속에 쏟아대는 소리가 말 let it blow 오감은 그것으로 쏠리고 곤두서고 들어온 너는 제멋대로 삐져 하늘을 뜬 채로 잠들면 소리 없이 스며드는 the phantom I'm so sick 더럽게 불이 켜지면 네가 사라져 있게 날 위한다고 I don't think so 방금 내게 파고들어 I don't think so 깊게 스며들어 I don't think so 혼란스러워 I don't think so I think whatever I don't think so 보이지도 마라 I don't think so 넌 날 다시 못 가져 I don't think so 집착하지 좀마 날 지겹도록 말했어 죽고 죽는 악몽 이제 끝낼게 불이 꺼진 exit light 이제 그만 꺼져 줄래 내게서 Black my heart creepy that night stainy 마소 잠든 내 눈을 띄면 거친 소름과 선명한 그 것에 적어 주인 없는 names on the ground 불러내 춤을 춰 tonight say what you like 그래 너와 행복했었던 시간들을 알아 이젠 끝내야 한다는 걸 forget everything yeah 잘한다고 I don't think so 모든 내게 파고들어 I don't think so 넌 내 눈을 가려 I don't think so 진실들은 없어 I don't think so 대충 말해 I don't think so 정거뱉게 하지마 I don't think so 넌 날 다시 못 가져 I don't think so shut up and go away 날 지겹도록 말했어 죽고 죽는 악몽 이젠 끝낼게 불이 꺼진 exit light 이제 그만 꺼져 줄래 내게서 One night 어둠 속에 보인 건 나를 쫓던 기묘했던 그림자 불이 켜진 exit light 거울 속에 나를 보고 있는 나 내게서 사라져 꺼져 yeah. 내게서 사라져
Very interesting. Okay. So this is kind of how it feels like it goes for me. They were captured, then they tried to sneak out, so like capture the whole drugging and amnesia part in Lucky One, and then Monster was like them trying to escape and getting tracked down by the evil EXO, and then Obsession is like the boss fight, right? Like this is the big fight before you confront the evil of all evils. Like this is one of the major, if not one of the final boss fights that they have. And of course, I think that this is one of those ones where, in terms of storytelling, this is where they kind of realize that they are at their peak of power. They are, I would say, realizing at how powerful they actually are. And actually, I would even dare say that this is the point where they realize at how powerful they are together, and the improbability of being able to escape, they realize is a lot more probable. And teaming up together, they are unified, they are 100% there, and they are able to defeat the evil EXO. And that is a very interesting thought, because I grew up on games like Chrono Trigger, and I always know that there's always and like Final Fantasy, obviously, I love and I know that there's always this like final boss fight before you have the final boss fight, and it's always like the big moment. You're just sitting there and just like, oh my goodness, how much worse can this get? And of course, that's always like the big thing is like back in the 90s, these games were not shy about having the main characters lose. So I think the thing that's interesting is at the end there, we see the Earth or the moon or whatever, one of the light, one of the planets of light, is being eaten by the Red Force. It has been inhabited and started to take over by Red Force. Oh, look. Fancy that. Who would have ever thought?
The universe has transformed. Distorted space has been reassembled. Warped time has been reset. And the unpurified Red Force imbrues two suns with darkness.
The two suns with darkness.
Oh wait, this isn't the right...
That is right there where the last video, personally, I think, ends. That is Red Force darkening one of the suns.
Place for today, is it? Nah, not here. Oh, cute, but not here.
Confronting Red Force. Look at the confidence.
시간은 가 지금도 틱톡 We take shots, we take shots 떠나자 우리가 뱅뱅 파워 이어폰 달고 흘러 나오는 멜로디로 시끄러운 손 잡고 볼륨은 on high We got that power every time 힘들지 않아도 꿈꾸던 넌 I keep fighting, fighting 오늘 다시 함께 신나게 한번 불태워볼까 So turn me up We got that power 네가 나를 볼 때 서로 같은 마음이 느껴질 때 더 강해지는 걸 Turn the music on We got that power 이 음악을 통해 한심한 목소리로 노래할 때 더 강해지는 걸 Turn the music on 지쳐버리는 그날이 오면 기억해 baby 아름다웠던 우리 다시 일어날 수 있는 그 힘은 네 안에 있다는 걸 Oh we got that Oh we got that yeah. Oh yeah We got that We got that power 이 음악을 통해 다시 한 목소리로 노래할 때 더 강해지는 걸 Turn the music on Turn the music on
dun, dun, dun.
가끔씩 싫어한다 거짓말보다 그래 모두 상처받긴 겁나는 걸 진실에서 더 공개를 돌려
Now, I know. So let me just kind of explain myself here. Give me a second. I know for some people this is actually considered like a prequel before they get to Earth, or that they, that there's no way that this would be the ending. I say different. I think, as is always the case with everybody that, has an evil mastermind lord behind for their main bad guys, they always have the ace up the sleeve. And that is either A, being immune to their powers by something that they have built or taken, or they are able to take that power. So I think that they had to beat Red Force without their powers. And then that's why at the end, they have their powers back, given and dropped and kind of returned to Earth with those powers. And obviously we saw a bunch of different other EXOs and all that other stuff. And this is kind of like, in a way, this is kind of the same way as the Monster X kind of like time travel, and like multiverse and doppelgangers, where like there are a lot of other EXOs that we've probably seen in the music videos and actually have like even interacted with, but there's like one main character EXO, and that's where I think we're at here. Is we are with the main EXO that we see from the very beginning, all the way on their planet when it is getting destroyed by Red Force. So this right here is, to me, the final destruction of Red Force. So, and this is where I'm going to just kind of leave you a little bit on a teaser. I actually don't think so. I think Red Force survives. But that's for another video. Anyway, so now let's end us all with the very last thing, which is Love Me Right. And the reason why I think that that's the last one is because, well, I'll explain it after. And here we are. This is actually the last song, and this is why I feel like that this is the ending for like the lore inside of the music videos anyway, is because this is them. They've defeated Red Force, and then they are back on Earth. And now that their powers and calling is no longer needed, now that they've brought balance, they are readjusting to life here on this planet. And they are, of course, hanging out as friends and trying to figure out what life looks like post superhero life. Post, like saviors of the universe. And this whole thing is basically, and I know that there is a huge love component that I never really touched on, but I think it's because at this point now they are able to have that kind of relationship. They are wanting to find love. They are wanting to find that one who treats them right, loves them right. So I think that this is them coming back to have a very much as normal of a life that they are going to be able to have for superpowered beings who just saved the Earth and the universe from, and the two sons from Red Force. That is what I believe to be the chronological order that makes sense to me in my mind. So, in any case, I hope that I've done the story justice, and I know that obviously there's probably some more stuff that I can cover, and I probably will cover. But I do want to say thank you for your patience, and also thank you for kind of coming along on this ride. This is a lot of fun. And for Sunday, I'm going to be doing kind of like a whole recap on the story, and maybe I will see if I can perhaps introduce that theory. If not, it'll have to be after 1 Week Club with FX, because that theory is going to blow the doors wide off. It is actually insane. But I will at least do a recap and include everything that has been discussed, both off and on screen, and kind of give you a full rundown of what the story to me is. Even though I kind of already said it. Anyway, thank you all so much for this journey. I look forward to more videos with EXO. I look forward to that theory video. And I look forward to 1 Week Club with FX. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for 3 years. Wild. Y'all are the best. Thank you all so much. I love you. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, Victus.